the winter months dragged on, I wanted to get a little more out of this winter than the typical winter camping. And in order to do that, I wanted to challenge myself a little bit and, have a little more fun and try some new stuff out before it's all over. So, that being said, I decided to take my dad's 1962 International Scout for a little experiment in the PA mountains. Is sleeping in this thing actually comfortable, or am I just delusional? Alright, so as you can see, we made it to the campsite. We were warming up a little bit at the fire. And I know earlier I said 3 degrees. I checked and actually it's going to be around like 10 to 13 is the real feel. So not as cold as we were thinking, but it's still going to be pretty cold. So in that case, I still need to figure out how to stay warm in the Scout because it's metal. There's going to be, cold coming up from everywhere. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to try to stay warm tonight, and we're going to see if it actually works because I've never done this before. So let's see. So the first thing we're gonna do is put down a piece of styrofoam because this truck bed is literally just a slab of metal and cold's gonna keep coming up through it. So we just cut a piece of styrofoam out, put in this thing. So hopefully that should stop any coldness coming up from the ground. And obviously those stupid little styrofoam things I don't want all over my stuff. So I'm putting down this army blanket and also to give me a little bit of extra padding from the ground. Oh, and also side note, this thing is definitely not big enough for me. I'm gonna have to be curled up in it. That's just how it's gonna have to be. But we're gonna see if that's gonna cause any not sleeping tonight. And then what I have here is my old sleeping bag. I'm just gonna put that on the bottom, extra warmth. I'm trying to do whatever I can, obviously. And it might not actually be that bad, but just to see what happens. So I'm not freezing all night. And then we obviously have a pillow because, of course. But I'm really excited to try this out tonight. It's a 0 degree bag, which I've actually never had one. Considering all the times I've been camping, I've never used a 0 degree bag. We're actually gonna see if it does 0 degrees and we're gonna give that a shot. Now this isn't a down 0 degree bag, and I know those are the best, but those are also like $500. But this one had really good reviews, so we're gonna see what this thing does. And one of the things I was actually excited to try this trip is one of these things. Now, if you don't know what this is a thermal blanket. It's a super thin blanket that traps heat very well. And I've actually tried it a few times. I've never actually done only a thermal blanket, and I don't know if I'll ever do that because I don't know if I trust it. But I am going to try to create a sort of hot box, I guess you would say. I don't know what else to call it. So I'm going to try to tape this thing across the top. It may not work. It may not stay up the whole night. But I want to give it a shot and see if that would actually help anything. I'm going to do that now. all that took to hang that up was some redneck engineering, so I'm not sure how long it's actually gonna stay up. I'm hopeful that it stays up the whole night, but I honestly kind of doubt it. But anyways, I'm gonna go to the fire, warm up a little bit, get some sweatpants on, and oh wait, no, there's one more thing we need to add. So it wouldn't be a full experience if obviously I wouldn't throw some hand warmers in the sleeping bag. I guess you could call me a wimp for that, but it's fine because I've never done this, so I want to be at least a little bit warm when I sleep, you know? I don't want to be cramped up in this little thing. So cut me some slack out there, boys. So I'm just gonna throw these 2 hand warmers in the sleeping bag, go to the fire, warm up for a little bit, put on some sweatpants, and you know, hit the sack. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the morning. That most definitely was the worst night of sleep ever. So going back to why I am not doing this again, and it was definitely one of the worst nights sleeping I've had in a long time. And the reason it was one of the worst nights ever of sleeping was not because of the temperature, even though it got down probably even below 13 last night. It was not the temperature, it was actually the space. And I didn't do any measurements, but I believe the bed is around 4.5 to 5 feet long. I'm 5'10", so that was terrible, because I had to scrunch up into a ball the whole time and it felt like I was sleeping on concrete. And as far as warmth, that sleeping bag was amazing. I stayed warm, that thing stayed dry. And I even took off that blanket I had above me because it started getting in my face and I was just kind of done with it. And I could tell it helped a little bit with my face staying warm, but it honestly wasn't worth it because it kept just getting in my face. I got rid of that around probably 2 in the morning and slept from like 2 to 6 barely, and that's kind of all the sleep I got last night. I think in the winter I probably won't ever do this again, but in the summer it might be nice because you can just flip the gate down and just lay out on that, which is fine. At the end of the day, I still had a good time going out winter camping up here in the mountains. It's a blast. I always love doing this. Huge thanks to my dad for actually driving this thing up here. But anyways, guys, we're gonna pack up, get out of here. So I will see you in the next one.